For You Chat.
It's time for our chat, and of course it's Christmas Eve today, so this would be a very good time to discuss Christmas traditions around the world. And I'll ask this question to you, Stephanie. I'm sure Christmas was probably a very special time for you and your family. So how do you usually celebrate Christmas? Do you give or receive any presents?
Of course. Actually, in my family, Christmas Eve is the big day because my whole family gets together Christmas Eve night. Most of my brothers and sisters have married and they have their own kids, little kids. And everyone goes over to my mom and dad's house. They have a pretty large house. And Christmas Eve, we have dinner together. And the brothers and sisters will exchange gifts. And then the nieces and nephews will exchange gifts. And we'll sing and have the nativity scene, which is the story of how Jesus was born. We put on costumes and act it out. I play the piano for everyone. And we sing. And then we have a special visitor that comes over. We have Santa Claus that comes over. And that's a lot of fun for the kids. It's actually my brother-in-law who dresses up. And no one recognizes him. The kids can't tell it's him. It's Mark. And it's a lot of fun. What about you?
Well, it's kind of unfortunate that you have pretend Santa Claus. When I was a kid, of course, the real Santa Claus came to our house on Christmas Eve. We'd all go to bed, or maybe my dad would take us out for a drive to go see Grandma or something. And then when we came back, Santa Claus had already been there and left the presents under the tree. We were all excited, and we would rip open those presents on Christmas Eve. Some people wait until Christmas Day to open those presents, but I think my parents probably thought that that was too cruel to make us wait so long for the presents. So we had a great time opening them on Christmas Eve and playing with all the toys on Christmas Day the next day.
You know, it's really interesting because when I was a third grader, I remember being in my brother's room. He's 1 year older than I am. And we looked outside, and I swear, I promise, I saw Santa in the sky. I saw that big sleigh that he has where all the gifts were in it. I heard bells ringing, and I saw those reindeer. And so I always believed in Santa Claus, even when people were trying to tell me it was just made up. I said, no way, I saw him myself.
Yeah, I can't understand why people would say he was made up. Of course, Santa Claus is real, will always be real, so don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Yeah, don't listen to those kids who say Santa isn't real. Santa is real. And so you'd better be good out there if you want some gifts on Christmas. Now, in my family, we don't open gifts from Santa on Christmas Eve. We wait until the morning. But you know what happens? None of us really sleep very much on Christmas Eve because we're too excited. And we keep trying to sneak out of bed and go in, look, and see if anything's there. And my poor mom has to keep saying, get back to bed, kids. But she's kind of excited too, I know.
Well, one way to help Santa Claus give you something that you might like would be to leave out some milk and cookies for him on the table. If he sees those after coming down the chimney, you'll probably get extra special Christmas presents. Okay, everybody, that brings us to the end of our chat. It's time now to read through our lesson one more time and take another look at the vocabulary.